the other channel. By the way, guys, if you're watching from Twitch, I would appreciate the support. And for any of those who watch the VOD, follow your boy on Instagram, of course, at Beba Unlocked. Follow my backup at Beba Unlocked TV, and also follow. I literally have a YouTube page named after both of these, so support us there as well. But basically, this is I want to make sure I'm hold on. Let me make sure I'm live on the other platforms. This is I want to make sure I'm hold on. Let me make sure I'm live on the. There we go. There we go. There we go. And to be, I want to make sure I share. What the fuck am I doing? I want to share this on my Twitter as well. Follow me on Twitter too, by the way, guys. Same exact handle, Beba Unlocked, where we cover some reports. We also troll a little bit. Twitter's like the hotspot. I'm gonna share this first. Give me a sec. Where is it? There we go. I'm trying to find the channel. Give me a second, you guys. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I'm gonna go here. I'm sure this. I'll copy this link. Share this on X. Yeah, this is okay. So basically, this is basically a little. I haven't. First of all, I haven't streamed on YouTube for quite some time, and it was life. Kids and shit like that, work. But I want to try to get back on a more consistent schedule. I at least, and I say this every time I stream, like every 3 months, right? But no, seriously. All jokes aside, all seriousness, I want to pick up a more consistent schedule. I want to stream at least, to be fair, minimum twice a week, particularly because it'll be easier to stream twice a week because I could just like clip up the videos and put it on the other channel. That makes it easier. But I really wanted to kick off the this stream by talking about a couple of things. Now you see the title of the video. Obviously, Wemby went complete bonkers last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Wemby was obviously a big topic of discussion. I mean, he's always a big topic of discussion, but he was the main topic of discussion because he was ejected in game 4, right? Now, I don't know if you guys saw. Let's go over that real quick. So Wemby got ejected in game 4 for literally elbowing the shit out of Naz Reid. Where is it? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Where is it? Yeah. So here it is.
There you go. There's the bat. The puck's out. There's that. There's that's
Now, this is what got Wemby ejected in game 4. Now, the big thing was a lot of people felt that Wemby should have been not ejected, of course. A lot of people felt Wemby should have been suspended for game 5. And turns out that the NBA decided to not only not suspend him, but the NBA also, they didn't even fine him, right? They didn't fine him. And on First Take, I saw Kendrick Perkins, and even Draymond Green was upset about this. Draymond was like, "Yo, this is me." You know how he felt like there was a double standard. He also said that the fact that Wemby didn't get fined was ridiculous. Now, honestly, my initial thoughts was, damn, that was a very bad play on Naz Reid, of course, to do that. And obviously, I felt like the NBA dropped the ball completely by not at least fining him. Because I felt like if they would have suspended him for game 5, I felt like Minnesota would have won that game and that could have derailed the whole series. But the NBA ended up not suspending him, and they didn't even fine him, which I do think they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball on that, and a lot of people were very upset about that. But he came back in game 5, and when I tell you Wemby just dominated the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the thing about this is, right, Minnesota, in my opinion, I think Minnesota fucked up losing last night's game. Let me tell you why. Minnesota was able to steal game 1 as you can see here, right? Minnesota was able to steal game 1. And obviously, the Spurs blew them out. And one thing I'm also noticing, too, right? By the way, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had Minnesota winning in 7. But at this point, I think it's over. Because if you look at like every time the Spurs win, they blow the Minnesota Timberwolves out. Game 2, 133-95, right? Game 3 was, wasn't too bad of a blowout. But last night's game was a complete blowout. And I think what Wemby did and what he showcased last night is, I'm here. I'm the future. And I don't want to be the guy that jumps the gun. Obviously, Wemby has to win the championship first before we say, oh, the Larry O'Brien trophy goes through him. You need to win that shit first. But this guy, bro, on both ends of the floor, he's just dynamic. There was actually a clip of Paul Pierce. He said that Wemby's the best player he's ever seen. Did we have that? I think I saved it for you guys. Make sure you guys drop a like on the stream, man. I appreciate the support. But where is it? Paul Pierce. Where is it? He says, so here it is. Paul Pierce says that Wemby is the most complete basketball player he's ever seen play. And some of the points he makes here, you really can't refute. Wemby is literally a once in a generational type player.
And I'm watching Wemby, and I swear to you, I said, and I'm watching, like, this is the best basketball player I've ever seen play. He is the most complete player we've ever seen play the game. Like, we could talk about Broad, George, Joe. He is the most complete player in the history of the game. Like, the way he influences the defense, and then when he turns it on the offense and he's just making all kind of shots, the type of shots that he's making at this size, even the ones he missed where he got fouled and they threw the lob and he almost made it. Like, I'm looking like to contort his body the way he does it at that size. The putback and one, he reaches his hand with the touch. Like, all this little stuff. I'm looking at the little things that he's doing as a guy that size, and it's just like unbelievable. Yeah. It's like everybody says, looks like hey, just create a player. Yeah, I'm gonna just create this guy. He's the tallest in the league. He can shoot like KD, drives like Jamal Crawford. He went and saw him this morning. Then he's showing me the KG mentality. Then today he's showing me the calmness of the monks. He just went over here. He's giving me everything on the basketball court that you can even think of. 100%. And I can't believe that I'm watching this.
Yeah, bro.
Paul Pierce is right. And I saw a stat on First Take. I'm not going to show it on the screen, of course. So Julius Randle in the previous series against... Who did he play in the previous series? I'm tripping. I know they played the Nuggets. So Julius Randle averaged 19 a game, shooting 14% from the field, right? And in this series against the Spurs, he's averaging about 14 a game on an abysmal shooting splits. And I think that is a testament to Victor Wembanyama's ability. Like, it's sort of kind of demoralizing. Like, can you imagine, like, if you're imagine being at the park, you're playing pickup basketball. And sometimes the taller player, the tallest guy on the court, it really isn't as quick. He can't handle the ball. Like, he's not really as quick as shorter people, right? Victor Wembanyama is able to do things that guards can do. I mean, this guy literally pretends he's not looking at you. Next thing you know, he's going to block your shot. This guy, and I forgot who said this. Who said this? I think it was De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox said that Victor Wembanyama, let me actually pull up Spurs stats. What am I doing? They're over here. Victor Wembanyama, so he had 27 points, was a plus 24, of course. I think he led the team. No, he was tied with De'Aaron Fox. Right? 17 rebounds. and 3 blocks. I think he's leading. Obviously, he's leading the playoffs in blocks. But De'Aaron Fox said something very, very, very interesting, and it gives a really good perspective. He said that Victor Wembanyama's his effect on defense is almost equivalent, or is equivalent, to Steph Curry on offense. And I'm like, damn, he's right. The minute Steph Curry steps beyond within a few feet of half court, the defense is like, oh, we got to guard this guy. Wemby on the defensive end, everybody is scared to take any type of shot. And I don't blame him. This guy is sending shit like, and I think in game 1 of this series, he had like 12, 13 blocks. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, some of them were goaltends. Like it was pathetic what the refs were doing that game. But you can't knock the ability. Like, this guy is different on the defensive end. And the thing about the Spurs, right? They're the number 1 defense in the league. Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson, who was the 6th man of the year, right? De'Aaron Fox is very quick. These guys can guard. So not only do you have Wemby, you have De'Aaron Fox, you have these guys on the front line, Stephon Castle on the front line. And your anchor is Victor Wembanyama. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, San Antonio might fuck around and win the chip. Now, I'm going to give respect to OKC. They just swept my Lakers. King James. They just swept King James. And we're going to get into his future next, in the next topic. But the Spurs are like, fuck experience. We won it all. We actually might just win the chip. And the way they've been playing in these playoffs, I mean, you can't really disagree. Now, only time will tell. Obviously, especially with last night's loss, there's no doubt in my mind at this point that the Spurs are going to win this series. The only way Minnesota can really, that man's going to have to go 0-6 Dwayne Wade, average 40 the next 2-3 games, whatever, and just live with it. And as far as Rudy Gobert, right? Like I said, man, last night, Wemby was literally toying with Rudy Gobert. Now, respect to Rudy in the first round. You know, he was playing great defense on what many people, I didn't agree with this, but many people believe Jokic is an all-time great. He's not. But Julius Randle cannot, I mean, not Julius Randle. Rudy Gobert cannot guard Wemby. He can't. And honestly, guys, it's going to be OKC Spurs Western Conference Finals, most likely. Now, let's get into these highlights. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted. YouTube, look out for your boy. It's on X. Look at some of these highlights by Wemby, guys. Check this out.
Oh, with the left. And then in transition, knocking down a...
I forgot to mention the 18 first quarter points, by the way. Like, he was going fucking insane.
3. What did I say? Hasn't shot the ball from 3, particularly great in this series.
Stop the point up.
Dominate the glass.
Fox worked inside. Hits Wembanyama trying 3 again. Field for him. Went for the ball. Wembanyama's got it the other way. Pitch to the corner. Champagnie. Wembanyama from the outside. Ball in his hands alive. To the basket. Timeout, Minnesota.
But then the pick and roll. Victor Wembanyama putting on a show.
So Randall on the bench with 2. And the veteran 8th-year man Reed is in. Wemby. Minnesota.
Yo, Rudy can't guard Wemby, bro. Rudy can't guard Wemby, y'all. It's over.
Minnesota had in game 3 as Wembanyama has the ball a lot and is doing a lot.
Shades of Jay crossover right here. The little spin move.
Get out of my way. I'm going. 2 come, so he pitches it. Castle right back to him. Feeling it.
Oh, with the left. And then in transition, knocking down a 3. What did I say?
Box around Randall. Love for Wemby.
Yeah, let me chill for YouTube. Like, yo, chill out. But yeah, man, Wemby is just out of this world, and it remains to be seen, man. But he's definitely the face of the league, the future face of the league. I mean, like, it's just, this guy is just out of this world, man. And you can tell he really cares about winning. He hates to lose, and I mean, his team, he needed to his team deserved what he did. Well, what I'm trying to say is, what he did in the first quarter, I think, was a message to his team. I'm sorry. He made up the ejection in that first quarter, and the Spurs never really looked back. So there was a couple ties. I think Minnesota had it, like, it was 61-61 at one point, and Minnesota just couldn't sustain the lead. They just couldn't. Number 1 defense in the NBA, so it is what it is, man. All right, moving on. So, as we all know, we're gonna transition real quick, guys. We're gonna transition. So, as we all know, the Los Angeles Lakers season is over. The Oklahoma City Thunder swept them in 4 games, and everybody and their mother knew the Lakers were not going to win this series. But there's been a lot of stories coming out of, the Lakers organization. And there was a particular report that came out. We reported on the page, right? Where it said LeBron reportedly felt like the Lakers took him for granted when Rob Pelinka didn't give him the game ball after he broke the record for most wins in NBA history. Now, I'm actually going to transition to the article that actually came out. I think it was earlier today. And it was a huge read by Dave McMenamin. And I basically want to go over it a little bit with you guys, and let's give our reaction. So it says here, with ice bags wrapped around both knees and slide sandals on his feet, LeBron James made a right turn out of Los Angeles Lakers locker room and beeline to the exit at Crypto.com Arena. It was March 31st, and the Lakers had just completed arguably their most impressive win of the season with a 127-113 triumph over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The victory avenged a 30-point loss to the Cavs on January 28th and capped a 32-day stretch in which LA went on a 16-2 surge up the Western Conference standings. The win was the 1,229th of James' career and moved them past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most victories by any player in NBA history. Not to mention, it came on the night when Luka Doncic topped 15,000 career points and Rui Hachimura reached 5,000. Still, James' celebratory mood didn't last long. Lakers coach JJ Redick had announced all the individual accomplishments in the post-game locker room, eliciting a cascading round of applause by LA players and assistant coaches. And then Rob Pelinka, the Lakers president of basketball operations general manager, addressed the team. He had the game ball in his hand. So basically, LeBron broke a record, past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and reportedly he was upset that Rob Pelinka gave the ball to JJ Redick. I think, what did Redick like have like some sort of, oh, okay, so it was Redick, it was Coach Redick, it was JJ Redick's 100th coaching win, and that's why Rob Pelinka gave LeBron the ball. There's actually a clip of this, and I actually want to share it with you guys. Did I save it? I probably did save it. Here we go.
Go through here. Some milestones reached, both individually and as a team. Rui. 5,000 career points. Luka, 15,000 career points. Luka also the 10th person to ever have 600 points or more. Stop shooting so much. All right. More importantly, LeBron James, winningest player of all time in the regular season.
We got one more accolade tonight, but we got to roll the video first.
Hi, Dad. Congrats on your 100th win. I'm very proud of you. I love you. Go Lakers. Woohoo!
Happy 100th win, Dad. You're a great dad and a great coach, and I love you so much.
Go Lakers!
To come in the league and get back-to-back 50-win seasons, first 2 years as a coach puts you in elite category.
Our coach.
All right, so that's to give you guys context, like how it happened, right? So basically, this article by Dave McMenamin, right? And he literally everything he says is sources said, sources this, whatever. He doesn't put a name to it. It's just sources said this, right? Now, it also goes into, how, the narrative that the Lakers are pushing LeBron James out the door because they traded for Luka, and he's obviously the future. Now, as far as my thoughts, right? Personally, I don't know if this is real. Like I said, there's no like real source. It's just McMenamin wrote it, and he says sources said. I find it hard to believe that LeBron will be upset because this strikes me as selfish if this is the case, right? And the reason I'm giving LeBron the benefit of the doubt is because people like to just create narratives for clicks, because if you put LeBron's name attached to it, everybody's gonna be like, whoa. And LeBron has so many haters, people are just gonna automatically believe it, right? But the thing about LeBron with the Lakers, right? What this season really showed me, or this sweep, right? This previous playoff series that they just had, is that this Lakers roster needs to be like big changes. And I know that I'm gonna say this, and I know people have like this big, like, especially Laker fans, right? I'm not even a Laker fan. I'm a LeBron fan. Wherever LeBron goes, I'm obviously gonna be a fan of his team. I'm a LeBron supporter. But there's been this narrative that LeBron held back the team, and I feel somewhat that LeBron does have some sort of animosity in terms of how the Lakers handled, again, LeBron isn't a selfish person. He's going to do his best for the team, but some part of LeBron James has to be thinking, you really made me a third option behind Austin Reeves. Now, it's one thing to make him the second option behind Luka. That's credible. Luka's an all NBA level player. He's actually has accolades. He was a high draft pick, so on and so forth. The fact that the Lakers really think that a backcourt of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves can actually compete in this Western Conference with teams like the Spurs. We just spoke about the Spurs whooping the fuck out of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder. It's like, I don't understand. Because there was a report that came out. Obviously, I reported it, right? Because that's just what we're going to do. We're a blog page. But, and again, I don't know. I'm not going to say these things are true. But it said Luka Doncic has made it clear to the Lakers that he wants to keep playing with Austin Reeves. Nigga, what? Now, again, I don't know if this is true. I hope it's not true. But there's tapes. There's literally I saw the series. We all watched it. AJ Mitchell, SGA said it himself. AJ Mitchell might have been the best player in this series. Shout out to my boy Boot You Offline. That's my nigga. My boy Debo. AJ Mitchell was cooking Austin Reeves, my nigga. Cooking that boy. I honestly believe that the Lakers, and obviously this is going to be, the Lakers had a press conference with JJ Redick and Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka made it clear that he wants to retain Austin Reeves and LeBron James. But a lot of people are saying that Austin Reeves is a max level player. He's not. He's not. And I strongly believe the Lakers should move off of him and work around building the team around LeBron and Luka. Because even at 41, LeBron James is still a better defender than Austin Reeves, a better playmaker than Austin Reeves. He has a higher IQ than Austin Reeves. He's more athletic than Austin Reeves. Stronger, taller, a bunch of like so many things. Even even at 41. So it's crazy. So many narratives coming out of the Lakers locker room, man. It's insane. Now, Kendrick Perkins got some backlash, right? He got some backlash for saying that LeBron James deserves to have a statue with the Lakers.
All NBA level, I'm going to give him the bag first.
My bad. Let me.
Matter of fact, I appreciate Rob Pelinka with the flowers because LeBron James, he's been so great in the Los Angeles Lakers uniform, he better have a statue outside of Crypto.com.
Now you're getting a little...
No. At an all NBA level, I'm going to give him the bag first. Matter of fact, I appreciate Rob Pelinka with the...
So just to give you clear context, he's basically saying that he'd give LeBron James the bag first before he'd give it to Austin Reeves. Like I said, LeBron James is just a better player than Austin Reeves, right? But I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be real. Stephen A. Smith made the point that he deserves his jersey to be retired, but he doesn't deserve a statue. And I have to agree because even though LeBron James has done a lot for the Lakers franchise, I actually posted something where... So here's his resume with the LA Lakers. And to answer your question, Debo, I think Kobe does have a statue, but Kobe's been with the Lakers for his whole career, so he deserves to have a statue. And I'm the biggest LeBron James fan, but like, I don't think he deserves a statue because when it comes to Lakers prestige, all-time great Lakers, Kareem, Magic, Shaq, James Worth, like these guys won multiple championships, like 2 or more, 3 or more. Now, people are going to make the point that Jerry West only won 1, but Jerry West is like, I think Jerry West is the all-time leading scorer for the Lakers. So, for people who make that point that Jerry West shouldn't be, to make the Jerry West comparison, you just don't know basketball. But here's LeBron's resume with the Lakers. He is an 8-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, 2020 NBA champion, 2020 Finals MVP, 2023 NBA Cup champion, 2023 NBA Cup MVP, 2020 assist title, 542 total games. I'm pretty sure it's updated to more now. 319 and 223 record, over 500, 6 playoff appearances, 7 playoff series wins, top 5 in Lakers histories in assists per game, 3-point makes, 2nd assist per game, 2nd 3-point makes, 4th in points per game, and 5th in assists. He does not deserve a statue of the Lakers. He just doesn't. Because he needs to win multiple championships. Now, is he one of the best Lakers to ever play for is he one of the best players to ever play for the Lakers? Absolutely. Yes. But we sort of kind of have to be like a little level-headed when it comes to like these type of takes because people love LeBron so much. Like and again, I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a supporter, but you just gotta keep it a bean. Like he only won 1 championship. Now, a lot of people like to discredit that championship because he won it during during COVID and the bubble. People call it the bubble championship. Look, it's so funny, right? And I'm actually going to transition to another topic relating that, right? Because there were a couple people that were saying some crazy shit about Braun. But I promise you, if any other team won a championship in 2020 in the bubble, they would be happy with that. They would not be saying, "Oh, it don't count because it's just ridiculous." But because LeBron won the championship, right? People just like to discredit it because it's LeBron James. So I mean, LeBron James is the most criticized athlete of all time, like in sports. Like this guy gets no breaks, like, you know. But to piggyback off of what I was just saying though, so there was some like, and again, I don't know who these people are. The reason why I'm even talking about this because it came up on my timeline. So there are some people on this podcast. I think it was with Barstool Sports, and they basically were talking about. They were saying that LeBron's tenure with the Lakers was not a success. Let me see if I can find that clip. Where is it? Here we go.
Listen,
this weirdo. Listen, this guy, like this, like I'm telling you, you cannot talk basketball people like this. Like their mind is just so that they hate LeBron so much that their mind is just made. It's just made up. It is what it is. But here's this weirdo on, what is it? Wake Up Barstool, whatever this is. Basically saying that LeBron James' tenure in Los Angeles was a failure.
And LeBron, I don't know if you guys talked about it, but I don't know how anyone could say that his time in LA was a success. He went there for 8 years. He won nothing.
Won a championship.
No, he didn't.
You're not counting the COVID.
I do not count
we go to the
COVID.
Mickey Mouse.
I absolutely do not count the COVID championship. Look, he's one of the best players of all time, but his time in LA was not a success.
I think it could have been better.
Yeah.
But you win a championship. Like
he didn't win a championship. The COVID championship does not. The bubble, they don't win the championship if they have to actually travel and play in road games and stuff.
Anthony Davis did play like outlier good and shot outlier well
and didn't get
his
injured
entire career. Didn't
I just can't take people like this seriously. But I'll continue.
Get injured. They had
but every other team had that advantage too.
No, we just don't. I'm just not counting them. Listen, you can do whatever you want. I personally do not count.
But he didn't handpick to go there, though, right?
Yeah, he did.
Then he had a lot of say on the roster too.
Yeah, he did.
Got it. Okay.
What about the heck? So would you? Is it fair to say that for a lot of franchises, what he did in LA would be considered a success, but not for the Lakers and LeBron James, given that
maybe he won a
both
title
riddled
so
with
for no franchise.
All right, enough of this shit. All right, look. So this guy comes on here and says LeBron James' tenure in LA was not a success. It was a failure. And he didn't even win a championship. When you can look it up, it's in the record books. The NBA counts it. People who actually have a brain and can think logically count it. He won a championship. Now I want to be very clear, okay? I'm not sitting here saying that LeBron has I'm not gonna compare and like put LeBron's tenure with LA with the all-time great Lakers. But let's not act like the Lakers were like just some marquee team that people were just interested in, right? The Lakers were garbage. Once Kobe retired, I think there was a season they won like 17 games. Like the Lakers were fucking garbage. And LeBron James decides to come to the Lakers to restore prestige and to win championships. Now, did he win multiple championships? No, but he still won one, and he brought relevance back to the Lakers. And you have clowns like this guy who probably doesn't even sprint, doesn't lift, probably eating Twinkies all day. You have people like him saying who don't even know what it takes to even play at this level. Most of us don't, of course, but just the lack of respect is ridiculous, right? But to add on to this, right? I think it was LaShawn. Is this LaShawn McCoy? Am I tripping? So LaShawn, right? Former NFL player, two-time Super Bowl champ, 6-time Pro Bowler. He actually took wind of this mediocrity, right? By these weirdos at Barstool Sports, I'm assuming. And he basically responds and defends LeBron. Check this out.
But when you take dudes that are not athletes, that don't respect athletes, and they say stuff like this, bro, LeBron, bubble or no bubble, he's going against other great professional players.
Correct.
Like that's like saying, well, Tom Brady, your championship didn't count with the Bucks. That was in quarantine.
Correct.
Right. The same type of stuff they had in the NBA, they had in the NFL. And when you start saying people that don't know how it feels to put the cleats on or put the helmet on or put the shorts on, the Nikes on, it's like I can't even take you serious. So when certain people, when we ask these questions, we talk about, this is why I don't want to say the word respect, but I don't really take them serious because you have no idea. So when you say stuff like that his championship don't count in the bubble, because come on, man. Because if anybody else would have won that championship in the bubble, you would count it. That's why I don't really take everybody serious. If you ain't really step on that and had that sweat and really know what's going on to be an athlete, come on, because you can talk like that.
Yeah.
You can talk like that.
Yeah.
And if there's another athlete sitting there, what do you think he looking at him saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you don't respect athletes and you don't know what it feels like to really be one, you can say whatever you want, especially if you're around other non-athletes. That's why I hate these type of takes. I ain't going to feed into that no more. I mean, that's...
I guess having a reasonable opinion means I'm a bronsexual. If so, so be it. All right, moving on. All right. All right, guys. So I wanted to touch on this report, right? So hold on, where is it? Where is it? So it's sad. I'm sad to report that basically, wait, where is it? Am I tripping? I'm tripping. So some extremely sad news, guys. So Brandon Clarke, all right, who was a player for the Memphis Grizzlies, he tragically passed away. And this was basically a huge blow to the NBA world because of how young he is. And he had a promising career. He was a great rotational player for the Memphis Grizzlies. And it's just extremely sad that this happened, right? Now, obviously, when it happened, right, my initial reaction was, what was the cause of death? What happened? But before we get into that, right, his agency, Priority Sports, actually posted this on their Twitter. Shout out to them. And it says, "We are all beyond devastated by the passing of Brandon Clarke. He was so loved by all of us here and everyone whose life he touched. He was the gentlest soul who was the first to be here for all of his friends and family. Our hearts are so broken as we think about his mom, Whitney, his entire family, and all of his friends and teammates. From high school to San Jose State to the Gonzaga to the Grizzlies, Brandon impacted everyone who was a part of his life. Everyone loved BC because he was always there as the most supportive friend you could ever imagine. He was so unique in the joy he brought to all those in his life. It's just impossible to put into words how much he'll be missed. We love you, BC." And like I said, man, this was just, life is short, man. That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, life is short, bro. Like at any moment, man, it could be, and this is kind of brutal to say, but it could be anybody's time. Now, to get into the other details, right? It says there wasn't an official cause of death that hasn't been announced, but they did say that they saw drug paraphernalia he found at his home, and they're saying that the incident is being investigated as a possible overdose. That is just brutal, man. Extremely brutal. So prayers out to his family, his loved ones. I think John Morant and what's the other player? I forgot his name, but John Morant, obviously he reached out on his story and gave him some kind words, and it's sad, man. It's really sad. Extremely sad. But I had to basically talk about it because it's just been a talk of, a little talk of discussion. Now, there's a couple of clips I want to react to before I close this live stream. Okay, so this is, where is it? Where is it? Oh, I'm about to talk about this. All right, so, and I want to get you guys' opinion on this because, so reports came out that the Bucks are, I think it says the Bucks are fielding offers. Where is it? So it says basically the Bucks are ready to trade Giannis. Okay? right? It says here the Bucks are reportedly open for business on trade calls and offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, why do I mention that? The reason I'm mentioning that is because recently, right, after the Celtics blew a 3-1 lead and effectively ended their season, we all know Jaylen Brown got on his Twitch stream and he basically said that, this, despite them losing, right, and the fashion that they lost, he said that, this is his most favorite season, given that, obviously we know Jason Tatum had that gruesome Achilles injury, and Jaylen Brown was the focal point of the offense and led him to, I think it was a top 2 seed, I believe. And he averaged, I think, career highs in points and was an MVP candidate. Now, when he said this, right, my initial, and I made a video on this, by the way, my initial thoughts was, bro, and again, like I said, Jaylen Brown is a grown-ass man. He can say whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm not tripping about I'm like, bro, if he wants to go on stream and talk about whatever, that's you, bro. But my mindset was, oh, here we go. Because him saying that, I knew for a fact, the media, this guy here, Stephen A. Smith, they're going to run with this shit. They're going to say, oh, so you don't want to play with Jason Tatum? You really want to be the first option? Yada, yada, yada. Come to find out, that is exactly what they do, right? Jay Will, Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith. So they had a segment, right? Because obviously Giannis is going to be available. Like there's no doubt. Granted, many people believe Giannis is going to leave this year, but I have no doubt in my mind at this point because the owner came out and said that they're going to look for offers. But there's no doubt in my mind that Giannis is going to be moved in the offseason, I believe, right? So, but they had a segment on First Take, and Stephen A. Smith says he thinks the Celtics should trade Jaylen Brown for Giannis after Brown's comments on his Twitch stream. Let's get into it.
Jaylen Brown and what we've been talking about over the last week. When you are 2 years removed from being a champion and being an NBA Finals MVP, and 2 years later, when you're playing without Jason Tatum for about 62 games, and you go to the postseason, and you get bounced out in the first round, it's the Boston Celtics, the most storied franchise in the history of basketball with 18 championships. Never have they lost a 3-1 lead until just now. And it was with Jason Tatum on the bench in Game 7. And Jaylen Brown was the bus driver. And you lost, and you go on the air inside of 24 hours and calls this your favorite season. I don't know how you come back from is Jaylen Brown and what we've been talking about on that. I think if you're the Boston Celtics and you have an opportunity to pair Giannis with Jason Tatum, you do it. For an abundance of basketball reasons, to change your style of play and and stuff like that. But also, Jaylen Brown clearly loves driving the bus. Let him drive somewhere else.
Now, even though there's sort of been like this agenda where I felt like the media really wants Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to go their separate ways, I was of the mindset, and they even said it themselves, that they don't give a fuck. They're trying to block the noise out. They're only focused on winning a championship as teammates, right? But you can't help but think that Stephen A. Smith is sort of kind of trying to push a narrative, right? Because where is it? Because that clip I just played for you guys comes after Jaylen Brown goes at Stephen A. Smith for saying that he needs to be quiet because of his comments on Twitch. Right? So Jaylen Brown quote tweets the video on Twitter and tells Stephen A. Smith, I'll be quiet if you stop. He said he'll be quiet and stop streaming if he retires. Let's give the people what they want.
Because it's Jaylen Brown as it pertains to this relationship with Jason Tatum, based off of what he said, this is his favorite year. You got knocked out in the first round.
Now, in my opinion, the NBA is where amazing happens. I'm not gonna lie. After that Luka trade, nothing can surprise me at this point. I would not be surprised if the Bucks would actually entertain Giannis coming to the Celtics. The only thing though is, how does Jason Tatum get viewed if Giannis actually comes to the Celtics? Right? I can't help, because people already hate on Jason Tatum already. I can't help but think that it will be worse if Giannis joins them. On a simple fact that I'm pretty sure some people. I mean, I think honestly, I would take Jason. Nah, I'd probably take Giannis. Granted, he's been having a couple injuries. I'd probably take Giannis over Jason Tatum, but it's really close. I just don't know how that works. Obviously, the Celtics style of play is gonna have to change completely, right? Because now you have Giannis can't shoot, right? He's all drive, kick out. But I can't help but think that people would discredit him because he's winning if he does win a championship with Giannis. How would they view him? I don't know. But honestly, in a situation like this, only time will really tell. But I don't know, man. I don't even know. I don't even think Giannis would want to join Jason. Like, would he really want to go to the Celtics? If anything, I would think Giannis would want to go to either Miami or the Knicks, because the Knicks has been like a linked team to him since the beginning of this season, right? Since before this season started. There are reports saying that if it was any team he want to go to, it'd be the Knicks. But, Pat Riley has been trying to, I guess hold off. But, sometimes Pat Riley is just sleeping, taking a nap in the office. So we'll never really know. But, yeah. Do I have anything else? I think I do. Oh, okay. So there was something that I saw, right? So there's a clip of Rich Paul with Gilly the Kid.
Well, when you take dude,
all right, hold on. No, let me see. Rich Paul, Gilly. All right, here it is. So it says here that Rich Paul tells Gilly the Kid and Waldo that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan grew up in a 2-parent household, and that's how they developed the selfish gene, while LeBron grew up in a single-parent household, and that's why he's not selfish. So let's get into this.
Said all of them. But you said Jordan didn't play anybody.
Here we go. Watch this.
Waldo, hold on. Check this out. Let's make it a little bit deeper. I have something for
Okay, so Rich Paul's on the phone.
this. Is a lot deeper. When you say he didn't have it, right?
Get it out the scene.
When you look at Michael grew up with a mom and a dad in his household. When you look at Kobe grew up with a mom and dad in his household. When you look at LeBron's mom was 16 when she had him as a child. Now, he spent a lot of time by himself, right? He did not develop. Taking the last shot over 3 people is a selfish gene. That don't make you having killer instinct. That's a selfish behavior. That's a gene.
That's it. We're not knocking none of that.
Oh, listen, hear him out.
But a killer instinct.
Hear him out.
Listen to me. It ain't got nothing to do with killer. Because the killers is in the joint. And some of them are walking out here. This ain't no killer shit on a basketball court. I've been around them all. What I'm trying to explain to you is, psychologically, when you spend the time that you spent by yourself, quite naturally you want to do what? You want to befriend people, and you built a game off of making other guys look good. LeBron sees the pass and you scoring just as much as he sees himself scoring, which is why he's the only athlete to have other self-made millionaires in his circle and not look down upon it, because he don't have that selfish gene. Whereas
Say your words.
Whereas when I got all the toys in the toy chest and I got the optionality of what toys I want to play with, and if you don't do it how I do it, I take my ball and go home. When you put that on the basketball court, then that creates another gene which we call killer instinct, which is fine. I got no problem with it. But you gotta look deeper into the psychology of it all. Michael Jordan is my man through and through, so I'm not knocking Michael Jordan. But what I'm saying is, LeBron grew up making guys better. So quite naturally, he's going to always make the proper basketball play. Michael grew up playing against his brother every day. I couldn't beat my older brother Larry, and so when I finally beat him, that created, no matter what, I'm taking this shot, right? So it's not a knock to none of them, but when you talk about a basketball player, there's never been a basketball player born on anywhere on this God Green's earth that is better than LeBron James at playing basketball. Now, if you want to talk about...
I'm gonna just stop it there. I'm about to give Rich Paul the buzzer. That ain't it, brother. That ain't it. I'm not even gonna defend this shit. This feels like a reach to me. But let's look at the comments. And this is gonna be the last thing I react to because I want to catch the Cavs Pistons game. But this guy says, "The fuck you talking about? You motherfuckers out here just saying shit. What kind of hood psychology is this?" Yeah, cut his fucking mic. Man said he ain't have a daddy, so he couldn't have the. This takes the cake for the most insane excuse ever. I'm just laughing my ass off. Seriously, Rich, just let this shit go, bro. Bringing up toy boxes and loneliness. Side note: Allen Iverson was, and that's the thing. I didn't want to get. That's the thing. Rich Paul just needs to be quiet. Just, you never heard Michael Jordan, and this is. I'm sounding like a Jordan dick sucker right now, but you never heard Jordan's agent talk. Like you never. He didn't have to defend him. Now I know we're in the advent of social media where people can have their own platform and speak and shit, but you have a decision not to as well. And I truly believe that I'm a firm believer in optics. Optics matter. And this just isn't a good look. Right? I mean, some bozo in the chat just called me a bronsexual. He actually came like, you're watching me, right? It's insane to me how people will come to your live stream, they'll watch you, and then they'll criticize you. Bro, just leave. You're here watching me. You took time to listen to what I had to say and type that I'm a bronsexual because you disagree with what I believe. So if I'm bronsexual, does that make you a Jordan dick rider? I don't know, but it is what it is, man. But all in all, bro, all in all, Rich Paul, bro. Rich Paul, bro. This ain't it, bro. This ain't it. This ain't it. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in for today's stream. It's been a minute since I was on this shit. Hopefully, I was able to, occupy your guys' time for a little bit. If you guys hung out in here for a little bit, I appreciate the support. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll probably be on Friday because I don't work weekends, so thank God for that. But I appreciate the support, you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.